Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm casts this side of East Yorkshire, and today I have a 1v1 on Outer Reaches. Over in the Imperial Guard corner we have Klein, and over in the Ork corner we have Mad Destar. Destar are going to go for triple sluggers, grot squad, as well as war banner and a boys hut, whereas Imperial Guard are going to go for tech priest engineer, double guardsmen, and an infantry command. So a very curious map for both factions. In this game, you've got lots of little choke points all the way through in this centre piece of the map, which is why the infantry command for the guardsmen has been placed here, so they can defend their plasma gen as well as their first initial strategic point. And you also have this narrow little gap here for any Storm Boy players potential. I'm not sure if the big mech can teleport over this ridge, but it can certainly move down this side and teleport round to the fragile underbelly of the guardsman base. Normally in this map you see people pushing out towards the edges, capturing their relic nice and early, getting a sniff at that critical location on the far side of the map, but both these players are focusing on their nearest and dearest at this present moment. We do have some Orks slow but surely pushing up towards the top. Guardsmen not quite as quickly. They've only gone for 2 guardsmen at the beginning. Oh no, they've got a third squad now. Commander on his way. Some slugger boys moving down the middle. We do have a big mech as well coming out to play. No strategic point. No, sorry, no listing post on this place yet. They've focused on getting their listing post on this side straight away, thinking that maybe they've got some defending to do. Guardsmen now see the slugger boys trying to cap this strategic point in the middle. Big mech will teleport over, firing his pistol away to keep these guys at bay. Commissar, quite an early Commissar to be fair, has been popped out. Not joining one of his squads there. Maybe a bit of a courageous Commissar going solo. Well, there we go. We'll fall back and join these guardsmen over here. Commander squad going to go for a priest and then a psyker. So we're not seeing the command squad running straight into the base and bashing some bits and bobs. They are going to try and consolidate some sort of hold in the centre of the map. And to be honest, this central position is quite important on this map. If you can get a nice defensive area around here, then all the top becomes quite easy for you to assault, as well as batting off any assaults coming from the enemy base. So very important for both players to try and maintain this area here. Slugger boys are going to come back into the middle with the assistance of their big mech. Some shooter boys are going to come in to provide some firing support. Command squad now are equipped with their psyker, are going to come round and see if they can pepper away these shooter boys. Slugger boys just slapping around these guardsmen. Not sure if the Commissar squad is over here, so they're going to just zone these guys away. Although, mind you, these guardsmen are not having the best time in their life. 2 models really, really low. They are on auto replenish at the moment. Orks on the side have just captured their relic. And another, in fact, actually, they're capturing all the top bits and bobs as well. So while the guardsmen are doing a good job at maintaining this central area, they are losing out on all the other strategic points everywhere else. I suppose that maybe is the play for the Orks at the moment. The Imperial Guard on this map would probably prefer to stay in one area and hunker down. And if the Orks can attack from many different directions and dictate the place of the battle, I think that'll do them a lot of good, in my humble, honest opinion. Guardsmen forming a firing line around here. Got some shooter boys. No pile of guns yet, so no big shooters. They do have... hold on, let's... how many? They haven't quite got the war banners yet for a pile of guns. I do believe it's 35 pop that they need to get their pile of guns out. They've just been focusing a lot on building up their listing posts at the moment. Do have an infantry... very interesting. We've got an infantry command being built up right smack bang in the middle in this nice little choke point here. So the Orks will really need to make sure that this infantry command is not built up. So it will be very difficult for them to get rid of without access to things like tank busters or what do you call them? War tracks and bits and bobs like that. Although I suppose, mind you, Big Mech, if he gets with his Power Claw, if they also get the Ork Big Knob Power Claw upgrade as well, they'll be able to smash their way through buildings quite quickly. The Orks do have options, but with this listing post and this infantry command, I mean, we do have some slugger boys going to be doing some sort of... Oh, no, they're not flanking, they're going to go for that critical location instead. Shooter boys, they're still without their big shooters in a straight-up firefight against a command squad. And bearing in mind, I mean, command squad, yeah, there is a bit of a melee focus on them with their priests and whatnot, but their actual range damage isn't nothing to be sniffed at. They do quickly cut through the light health of these shooter boys. Look at that, already about 3 or 4 models. I mean, you look at the corpses around here. It's primarily blue and green compared to pink and... What colour scheme we got going on for these boys? Pink and white. Pink being the skin, not the clothing. Got another infantry command going on down here, so a lot of money being popped into tier 1. 97 and 10 for the Orks, compared to the 86 and 10. So Orks, in fact, the Orks are doing a very impressive job at applying whole map pressure and just general map control, really. Slugger boys, not really ideal for fighting this amount of ranged units, but they are doing a great job at capping bits and bobs. We do have pile of guns being built up now, so that will give the shooter boys the all-important ranged firepower that they need to take things down. This listing post is going the way of the dinosaur. Infantry command being slapped down here will help defend their relic. Will also help the manoeuvrability of the guardsmen as well. Pop some boys in there, and then the Orcs decide to attack in a different place. Just teleport your boys over here. Heavy bottle turret also going down here, so it's definitely consolidating. Oh, and a minefield as well, held bells. This listing post is going to survive for quite a long time then, by my reckonings. Shooter boys, have we got the pile of guns on? Oh no, the pile of guns there, they're going to go for heavy boy armour. I haven't quite gone for their shooter, big shooters yet. They are just going to jump straight in. Storm boys, does seem like they've been upgraded with their frag bombs. Are going to move in, tie up these guardsmen to the best of their ability, but they are just going to pop into the infantry command. And when you have, I do believe it's when you get 2 or more squads into the infantry command, you do get some plasma guns firing out as well, so those Storm boys with their heavier armour won't benefit when getting up close and personal with this infantry command. Second Storm boy squad, to be honest, I'm not sure why Storm boys are coming down here. I mean, this place down here is entirely undefended. You can just come over here. And this listing post isn't even upgraded, so you could send some Storm boys down and really draw the attention away from the defensive positions that the guardsmen have made. They're also going to go for their tier 2 as well, are the guardsmen. Storm boys, oh well, trying to recap this strategic point. The guardsmen not wanting to push out too much. We all have, yeah, we've got triple big shooters and all these shooter boys, so they will be able to mince their way for the guardsman's armour. So at the moment, the guardsman is probably just going to be turtling up, waiting for tier 2. Maybe teching into some chimeras, possibly. Maybe, what else could they do? Is it Urgrins that can get a tier 2 or Cassikins? Well, mind you, I assume it probably not be the wise idea. I reckon it's probably going to be more Chimera, maybe Basilisk. Stick a couple of Basilisks down here, fire into the Orc base. I mean, it's not the most efficient thing you can do, but it's very thematic, I'd say. Yeah, these Storm boys aren't going to crack this infantry command anytime soon. Command squad over here trying to prevent the Orcs from capping this critical location in the middle. The Guardsmen will have to push out at some point and try and decap one of these critical locations. Guardsmen over here engaging with their bayonets against these slugger boys. And look at the size difference between these Orcs and Guardsmen. These Orcs do not mess around. Although when the commander squad comes in, these guys will want to go back home. Guardsmen will probably want to capture this as soon as possible. They've got to at least prevent, or at least capture this critical location in the middle as well. 4 minutes and 12 seconds for the countdown. Infantry command being swarmed by a whole smorgasbord of Storm boys and big shooters. This infantry command will not survive for much longer, and all 3 of the guardsmen are going to... they've all moved over to somewhere else, so that is actually quite a narrow play by the guardsmen. I quite like that. Well, if they all fell out of the infantry command there, then they would have been in a world of trouble. Constantly chased back to base by the Storm boys. And again, they're still defending this critical location. Heavy weapons team now coming out, which may be defensive in nature. It is mobile, so they will be able to do a slow creeping defense. I mean, you stick your... there we go. If you can see the rally point set here. So the weapons team will probably stop here. Just chill out around here as these guys come to cap the critical location in the middle. Do have some priests, which I assume is the result of a tier 2. We do also have... there we go, tactical control. They will be going for their... I know one squad was going... There we go, one squad going for their grenade launchers. And... yeah, I quite like it. So the guardsmen have how do I say it? They have invested lots of money into the central position. So now they're just going to ignore that central position and just go around the sides. Which means the guardsmen are still able to chill out here and push out as and when they need to, but they don't quite have the numbers to, well, defend any of the other places, really, I suppose. And this is quite the plasma farm for the Storm Boys to get their way through. Knobs are in the squad, so they will be able to cut through the listening post quite quickly. Guardsmen are going to move forward. They do have triple grenade launchers, so they will be able to smash around these shooter boys quite nicely, especially when they're being distracted by destroying these plasma generators. But they are losing a significant amount of investment here as the Orks are just ripping and tearing their way through the Imperial Guard structures. Tactical control, still researching lots of bits and bobs. 74 and 58. Oh, hold on, Bat. We'll do economy in a while after these Storm Boys jump in. Some witnessing of your dooms being fired at these Storm Boys, going to break their morale. Shooter Boys over here, teleporting to the side with the help of the big mech. They will try and engage in close combat with this heavy weapons team. Do have a heavy bottle turret going to be built up by this Tech Priest engine seer. Command squad getting nice, close and personal with the shooter boys over yonder, preventing them from firing with their big shooters. I do believe, yet they've got none at the moment. Shooter boys over here going offline. And to be honest, the Guardsmen have kind of turned this around a bit. They have lost a significant amount of resources down here, but they have destroyed a fair amount of the Ork army. So they will have to follow up by pressing their own advantage. The Orks won't be able to defend for a little while at least, so the Guardsmen need to take this opportunity to be a little bit aggressive. But they are just going to instead capture their strategic points, trying to regain their, what would you call it, their economy. These guys are going to push forward. Only one squad there. Only two big shooters on these shooter boys. Slugger boys, I think they've been stood here for quite some time. I'm not sure if they've been forgotten about. Ah, there we go, they are on the move. Countdown has been stopped. What's going on in the base at the moment? 81 and 39 for the Guardsmen, compared to the 104 and 30 of the Orks. So, is that a... Ah, so that is a green money advantage for the Imperial Guard, blue money advantage for the Orks. I do apologise. What's going on in the base is not much exciting. They are just focusing heavily on upgrading their Guardsmen, so battle armour, weapon specialisations. Orks have gone for a war track, so I assume that... Ah, there we go. A mech shop. Going for war trucks and war tracks. And, yeah, we've got some commissars in the mix. We've got some priests on the go. This is going to be quite a firing line for them to deal with, from the Orks' perspective. Big mech doing the Chad thing and charging straight in. Going to try and get his boys to shoot around, but mind you, it's a bit of a... They are kind of surrounded. There's a lot of range fire for them to deal with. And with the big mech, he can't really jump twice, not like these shooter boys. So he jumps in, and then he can't quite jump out. So you've got to really make sure that you've committed... Well, make sure it's the right commitment for your shooter boys when you teleport in like that. Storm boys managed to take a few models down over here. War truck and war track firing away. But the heavy cover of these areas will, and also the mechanised command, will help the Guardsmen stay alive. Going to go for some Sentinels. Heavy mortal turret going to be bashed up by this war track. Losing health fairly quickly, to be honest. Minefield there, playing its part. Going to be doing a significant amount of damage to these Storm Boys. Will force them away. And that does leave this war truck and big mech quite vulnerable at the moment. Got some plasma guns going on the Guardsmen. Guardsmen over here teleporting outside. Well, not teleporting. They come out of the infantry command. Again, using that improved mobility. They have lost a lot of their defensive structures over here, but now they've got the manpower to do what they want and play defensive. And that... Oh, there we go. A Curse of Machine Spirit going on this war truck will prevent it from running away. These Storm Boys are going to jump back in and try and do what they can against these guys. A Commissar has just inspired his men by shooting one of them into the back of the head, preventing their morale from being broken, although these guys are a little bit too far away to be inspired by such acts of heroism. Sentinel now out on the field. We'll be focusing on these vehicles, no doubt. Grenade launcher firing away into the distance, and it does seem like the Guardsmen came out on top of that somehow, some way. With the power of the Commissar's morale, the priests with their... I'm not sure if have they gone tier 3 yet. Not sure if they've gone tier 3 yet, so they might have access to their God Save the Emperor ability where they become immortal for a little while. They might not. Hard to tell in this back and forth defensive game. Got some tank busters coming in. Lots of... What tier are the Orks on at the moment? They have gone 55, so they are firmly in tier 2 now. Sentinels firing away into the war truck. War truck a bit lazy there. Will almost get caught out. Triple Sentinels. You don't normally see this many Sentinels on the map, but then again, ideal for them. They'll be able to jump round, well, not jump, but they'll be able to run round, damage these listing posts, and then by the time these tank busters move in, run away. Tank busters there. Not the most accurate of boys, neither. You need a fair few goes before you're able to get a decent rocket salvo off. Although when they do hit, they do a significant amount of damage there. Guardsmen down here, having a quick sniff at this critical location by the looks of things. Listing post now tier 2. Tank busters with their infiltration research will just easily cruise by these guardsmen, seeing if they can ambush these sentinels as they come by. Sentinels will try and fire and get around the side of these war trucks, although they will not notice the tank busters here. They will take a significant amount of damage. This sentinel does look like it's going to die, and it does indeed die by the curvy rockets of the tank busters. Guardsmen over here. Two men just kind of chilling around over here, enjoying the view from the cliff, but then being shot by some rockets. What else is going on? We do have lots of tier 2 posts, 91 and 40, compared to 153 and 39, so the blue money has come for the Guardsmen. Nob Squad is coming out. Tier 3 is going for the Imperial Guard. And the Nobs are just kind of going to do a bit of a face check. And they're deciding against it. There's lots of plasma guns on the Guardsmen at the moment, so might want to stick these guys in a war truck. Get them nice, close and personal before they slap guys around. Tank busters firing away into these listing posts. Infantry commander. This area once again been built up quite nicely and defensively. I've got a Basilisk, an Albassi in the heavy cover, providing long-range firing support. Which they might, to be fair, the Basilisk doesn't really do all that much damage to these heavy infantries, especially for the Nob Squad. But it might be able to knock a few guys about, which will prevent them from doing close-range combat for a little while. Although, mind you, it doesn't seem to be knocking them over. Don't know if their mass is... or not mass, but whatever you call mass in Dawn of War. Not sure if that knocks them over. War truck going down, but then being traded off with a minefield. No, not minefield, sorry, a Sentinel. Nobs moving in, going to slap around this infantry command. We do have a Chimera moving around the side, depositing 2 guardsmen. They will focus a lot on these tank busters, although then getting instantly bothered by these Nobs. As Tank Zapper going down this Chimera. Wonderful play by the big mech. We'll get nice, close and personal. God Save the Emperor ability going on the priest over here. Yeah, I do think that is a tier 3 ability. We'll save these guys as they retreat. Now going to retreat into the defensive firing line of the heavy bolter and a tier 2 listing post. War track going to save these Nobs and take them away. Tank busters slow but surely destroying this infantry command. Tech priest engine seer firing away. Basilisk again knocking these guys over, preventing them from keeping that firing on. Do have the oh bloody hell! We've got another Chimera depositing some more guardsmen. Do manage to take out a war banner. That might, in fact, they'll probably take out 2 war banners as they've gone down to they were on 35 and now on 45. So that not only puts the Orks at a resource disadvantage by making them have to spend more money on war banners, but also a tech disadvantage, which not what the Ork wants to be in when the Guardsmen are going into tier 3. And just the economy that they've been managing to maintain. I mean, 103 and 50 compared to 155 and 78. So even though the Guardsmen took a very significant economic beating towards the far eastern side of the map with the Storm Boys when they came in to bash the plasma generators, they have managed to regain that economic hold. And keeping their lads alive as well, that's been a great help to them. I mean, the Storm Boys died at some point, which was a major blow for the Orks. Prevented them from being able to keep up all the pressure. Nobs, though, over here are doing a fair number on these Guardsmen here, but their numbers are waxing and waning, and they are very expensive to replace. I mean, 45 and 10, 2 Orc pop. It's not exactly a unit you want to throw in to death, really. War truck setting up around this side, firing into the Guardsmen, although this war truck, and it does, there we go, some Grots are going to come in and try and repair it. Chimera dropping off 2 more squads, lots of grenade launchers, God Save the Emperor ability, Tank Zapper does go on there, the Chimera probably will get taken down by the Tank Busters. There we go, one squad of Tank Busters managing to destroy that Chimera with 1 salvo of rockets. Anything interesting going on in the base? I did see some assassin squad. There we go. An assassin is being researched. You have some Castigans and Ogrins now being built up. Good amount of blue money and green money reserve in place. So they will be saving their money to build up their... Oh, they've spent it on something. What have they spent it on? A full-scale war. There we go. So possible Lehman Russes. Maybe even a Baneblade if the game goes on for that long. Orks. Bit flustered at the moment.
What would you have me do?
And the Orc player not quite sure what he wants to do with his life. Mechanized Commander, second one going down. And the Orc player just kind of gives up. I mean, to be honest, we saw the economy. There was a big economic difference. They were going to go for full-scale war. There was going to be some Lehman Russes. So I'd say fairly confidently the Orc player knew that it was a Guardsman's game. But very exciting all in all. I mean, wonderful plays with the infantry commands. Wonderful use of Storm Boys towards the early game with the power bashing. Yeah, very good game by both players. Anyway, my name's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never short. And I will see you in a bit. Peace.